Hello everyone, apa khabar? If you've been learning Malay for quite a bit, you may have already heard many times that the Malay language does not have any tenses. So the question arises of how do we refer to the future or the past? So in this video, we'll look at references or words that we use to refer to a future or to indicate a future tense in a sentence. And in our next video, we'll address the past tense. So the simplest way to refer to the future is by the word akan. Akan. So it means will. For example, if you want to say, yes, I will do that. In Malay, that would be, ya, saya akan buat tu. So the word akan is more common in formal Malay. It's rarely used in daily conversations and in spoken Malay. If you want to say, he will start work there next week. In Malay, that would be, dia akan mula kerja sana minggu depan. Dia akan mula kerja sana minggu depan. So it's just word for word replacement. Will is replaced with akan. What about this one? If you don't remind me, I will forget. So to remember is ingat. So if you want to make someone remember, it would be ingatkan. To forget is lupa. The full sentence is, kalau awak tak ingatkan saya akan lupa. Kalau awak tak ingatkan saya akan lupa. So again, the word akan is more common in formal Malay, and you would almost never hear this in spoken Malay. So how does a native speaker would say this? Probably by adding the word nanti at the back. Kalau awak tak ingatkan saya lupa nanti. So the equivalent in English would be, if you don't remind me, I will forget later. So usage of the word akan is the first way to indicate a future happening. This is another way by adding a reference to the future. Later, next week, on Wednesday, in an hour. So those words are key in Malay to understand or to know that the conversation is referring to a point in the future. Going back to the first example earlier, yes, I will do that. And in Malay that was, ya, saya akan buat tu. Another way to say this is, ya, saya buat tu nanti. So the equivalent in English will be, yes, I will do that later. So by adding the word nanti, it already indicates that it will happen in the future, and we don't need to add the word akan in the sentence. How about the other example? He will start working there next week. So the word next week already indicates that it will happen in the future. So we can omit the word akan, so the sentence becomes, dia mula kerja sana minggu depan. Simple. How about this one? Tanya is coming back or will come back on Wednesday. To come back or to return is balik. The sentence is, Tanya balik hari Rabu. Or if you want to use akan, Tanya akan balik hari Rabu. In both cases, you would still be understood. So we've looked at two ways to refer to a future point in time. The first is the word akan. The second is by using any phrases or words that refer to a point in the future. However, sometimes it just depends on the context of the conversation. So if you are making plans, for example, we would most likely be referring to the future a lot. For example, he will make coffee, I will cook breakfast. So if you are making plans for the weekend or for next week, the conversation revolves around the plan for whatever point of time that would be. In Malay, that will simply be, dia buat kopi, saya masak sarapan. Dia buat kopi, saya masak sarapan. So you can add the word akan. Dia akan buat kopi, saya akan masak sarapan, no problems. But usually in colloquial speech, in spoken Malay, we keep it simple and omit the word akan altogether because in making plans, we already know that it will happen in the future. Okay, last one. If she gets the package, she will call us. Kalau dia dapat bungkusan tu, dia telefon kita. Kalau dia dapat bungkusan tu, dia telefon kita. You can add word akan. Dia akan telefon kita. No problems. But from the conversation or from the sentence, we already know that she has not gotten the package yet. It will happen in the future. So that's why normally in spoken Malay, we just keep it simple and omit the word akan altogether. Alright, that's all for this lesson. See you in the next one for the past tense.